And also it improves the situational awareness on the aircraft that you fly. Let's take the example, the F-16. I have one model F-16 from the old time, which a little bit damaged, but it's okay. I'll replace it one day later. It helps you when you're flying the F-16 in BMS or DCS, and when you have the model in front of you, it gives you this situational awareness, like you're looking the physical model in front of you. You see the angles. It gives you the ability to visualize the aircraft in 3D, because aircrafts in 3D, it's like you see it in the television, in the screen in front of you, but it doesn't give you the complete visualization of the aircraft.
I'm sure that most of you were introduced to aviation due to living close to an airport. Our guest is no different. Imagine growing up where your bedroom window is directly underneath the approach path of an active runway. This leads to you dreaming about flying them, and then, 3 years before you're supposed to get your wings, you were told that your eyes aren't good enough. That's exactly what happened to today's guest. But here's the thing, he did not walk away from aviation. He found 2 other ways to stay in aviation. One of them was to build scale models. He has over 50 of them that he made by hand. And the other one is to get into simulators like Falcon BMS and DCS. This is the simulated airspace. Today we have Tiger, who is from the 104th Phoenix Virtual Fighter Bomber Squadron. And he is here today to talk about his models and his BMS and DCS journey. So let's get started with our intro from our speakers. So I am Prime Aviation Plus on YouTube. I create tutorial videos of Falcon BMS and DCS for all experience types. I am accompanied here by Fiscus, who will give his introduction as well.
Hey everyone, it's Fisgus. Welcome to another episode. I'm a creator of some tutorials and some other gameplay videos and one reconstruction. So yeah, my channel is Fisgus Fight It, and I'm as always happy to be here and to have everyone along.
Hello everyone, my name is Tiger. I'm from Greece, and I'm a member of 104th Phoenix Virtual Fighter Bomber Squadron since 2016. I'm a virtual pilot in BMS and DCS, and I'm making a lot of models in 148 scale.
So welcome, glad to have you here. I even have a few scale models of my own. Looking behind me right now, I got F-16. I don't make them. I buy them off of like hobby websites. So I got a F-16, 2 F-16s, F-15C, T-38, an F-4, F-22, and F-35. So I have a couple of them in there, and they grow on you. It's like a tattoo. You get one, you can't just leave it alone because they need friends. So I have a couple in there. I wanted to start out making models, but for me personally, it takes a lot of time, and that's something that's not really for me. But with you making models, go ahead and tell a little bit more about yourself. How did you get into modeling, and how did you get into 104th Virtual Fighter Bomber Squadron? And tell us a little bit more about that.
Of course. Well, it's a long story. I started with the models from 1993. I was reading a magazine, and I said, I have to try it. From a small kid, they gave me a gift of 3 models in 172 scale, an F-16, an F-15, and the Messerschmitt 109. Then in 93, I started building the models in 172 scale. After that, I said, okay, maybe it's too small. I want more details. I jumped immediately to 148 scale and not to 132, because 132 takes a lot of space. So the good thing with this is that you get in personal with the aircraft that you're making. Technically, I was making models all the time. From 1993, I have 52 models. Most of them is the Hellenic Air Force 148 scale jet aircrafts. Some are missing from my collections, but slowly I'm making them. And for the One of Worth Phoenix, I entered in the squadron in 2016. I was lone wolf. They saw me, they approached me, and I took all the necessary examinations, virtual examinations, to enter in One of Worth Phoenix. And from that time, I'm already 10 years there in the team.
You had examinations like not tests, but milestones and building blocks to learning. So they teach you how to fly whatever you're trying to fly, and they teach you the tactical uses of it, and they like maybe get you into multiplayer with other flights and maybe a flight lead training type of stuff. Is that kind of like the stepping stone that the 104th has, kind of?
The first steps is that they're giving you 3 missions. These 3 missions are the taxing, the flying by points, and to be very precise. Then you're moving to the flying, formation flying. And the third step is the carrier qualifications. Because in 104th we're using the F-14 and the Hornet, the FA-18. So we have a specific test for this, for the third stage, that is carrier qualifications. But before the F-14 and F-18 to enter in the DCS, we had the Su-33. And I'm proud that I was the last one using the Sea Flanker as a carrier qualification. And the next year, the Hornet came, so we jumped on the Hornet one.
That makes sense. So is it mostly Navy, or I'm curious everything, but it seems like you started with like Navy type of fighters with the 33 and the 18.
The Phoenix, 104 Phoenix, started with the Flaming Cliffs in 2008. 2006, with the F-15C, and they were flying all the time F-15C. Then when the Western aircraft that they were entering in DCS, like the Hornet, like the Tomcat, like the F-16, we also jumped on this aircraft. Also in the tournaments that we participate, we using and the Strike Eagle and the F-15C Eagle and the Hornet and the F-16. We're using all the Western aircraft technically.
Yeah, technically. What airplane are you flying now with them? Are you doing anything currently?
Most F-16, and usually depending the mission, I'm using the specific aircraft. Let's say if I want some strategic strike to make, I'm using the Hornet because it has the standoff slammers, weapons. And if I want some air-to-air, I'll use the F-15C. If I want some Cold War era, then I'm going to use the Phantom or the Flanker or the MiG-29. I'm a multi-role person. So depending the mission, I'm using the specific aircraft.
Okay, makes sense. So since that the F-100D came out really recently, is there any talks of getting that and using that for one of your planes that you fly for Cold War, kind of?
Yes, I'm planning to buy it. The reason I didn't buy it yet is because I don't know if my system will accept, let's say, the new models, because the new models at the moment they're a little bit heavier for my system, and for my 12-year-old PC, I don't know if it will handle it with the FPS, because at the moment I have the problem with the FPS in DCS in multiplayer. But definitely I will buy it. I see good, and I heard good reviews even from my teammates that they have it.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. It's like when you're flying a modern jet and more or less the airplane does a lot of things for you. When it comes to like calculating where the bomb goes, calculating when to pop up, calculating your rotate speed, even calculating how much G's you should pull because you're giving a request to the stick. and it's a single engine fighter and all that stuff. And then in the F-100, it's it has a flight control system, but it's less complicated and demanding than the F-16. So you still have to fly the plane, stick and rudder type of stuff. Also, the engine will stall and backfire if you throttle up too fast. There's no HUD, so you don't have all the stuff you need on your HUD. You got to look at your instruments. So it's like a really nice um, balance between the aircraft's help and you still happen to be a pilot and fly the airplane. So I think the F-100 is a good transition aircraft to be able to go from a modern fighter to something a little bit more, a little older, but still has that same feel as a modern fighter without having two people in the seat. Because that's the biggest thing. If you need two people in the seat, it kind of people don't really want to have two people all the time to be able to fly something. So that's something that's really good about the F-100.
One question, since you have experience with these, with both of these, what do you think is they're pretty much from the same era, but between the F-100 and the F-4, which one do you think as a pilot, and I understand the F-4 needs a Rio, but just to fly, what do you think is the most complicated one between the two?
Most complicated, I believe, is the F-100 because you have to put all the necessary inputs for the bombing missions. In the Phantom, you have the Rio to do that because he's controlling and the navigation and the calculations for the bombing.
No, I meant more like the way the aircraft handles and all that. I'm not talking about attacking stuff and bombing stuff or even shooting missiles at air targets. I'm actually just referring to, flying it, maneuvering it and all that stuff. Which one do you think is more complicated in that aspect, or are they pretty much the same? Give or take.
F-100 is more complicated.
Okay.
As I know, the aircraft is more unstable in very slow speeds.
Oh yeah,
The
it's
F4, the F4, it has the good thing that, but you have to remember it, that when you turn left or right, you have to add rudder on the Phantom.
Yeah, the F-100 it has that saber dance. You can look up on YouTube, type in saber dance, and at low speeds and high angles of attack, you use your if you mistakenly use your ailerons, it could stall one of your wings and it'll have you roll uncontrollably. So go ahead and look that up and see what that is if you're not sure what that is. But yeah, it's very fun airplane. So
go
ahead.
Sorry, there was a simulator in the old times. It was called Strike Fighters 1 and 2 that had the F-100 and it was also unstable model. I remember I tried that time. It was very old simulator. And as I saw some videos, it reminded me exactly the old model, the old simulator. The model really it's unstable in slow speeds.
Yeah, it definitely does not like it. So I usually play BMS, Falcon BMS. So you said you used to play or would still play BMS, but how did you get into Falcon BMS and like the Falcon 4.0 type of regime back in the day? What kind of got you into that?
Well, my first contact with Combat Sim, it was the F-19 Micro Pros. And from that time, I own most of the titles that Micro Pros had. And I had also the Falcon Gold. And from Falcon Gold, I remember I had a copy of Falcon 4 because that time it was not so many boxes available in the shops for the Falcon 4. It was not so famous because the flight sim community, the combat flight sim community, that time it was very small. So I had the copy of the Falcon 4 and I flew that time. Most of it was single player, not multiplayer at all.
It's because of that dynamic campaign they had was really good for single player. That's why one because internet wasn't really developed as much as it is now, but the dynamic campaign was when it really shined.
The dynamic campaign, I love it, of the Falcon BMS. Falcon 4 and Falcon BMS. It's amazing because it's using simple logic. It's the factories, it's the power plants. The power plants give the power to the factories. The factories they produce stuff for the other factories to assemble for the assembly line, and it goes on and goes on with all this campaign environment.
Yeah, it's like it's a process. So if you take out their factories, they're not able to factor, not able to create things. Take out their power, not able to have power. So it's like a domino effect, which is in war. So you take out the things that helps them out with creating sorties and launching airplanes. So they could, if you can't destroy all the airplanes, you can at least make them have the inability to make more, or destroy the airport so they can't take off. So there's a whole strategic enterprise of doing the campaigns in Falcon BMS when it comes to degrading your enemy's firepower and things. So with you playing Falcon BMS and being in the older type of sims, which one out of the, like Falcon 4, you said you played F-22 Lightning and all those things, which one had a milestone and like had a revolutionary type of gameplay other than Falcon BMS? Which one stands out more in your head out of those type of sims?
Well, difficult to choose, but it was the IF-16 in 1997-98, if I remember well. It had 3 theaters. It was kind of with missions. The campaigns were like in missions. The other one was the Enemy Engage, which was the combat helicopter simulator. I had both titles, Enemy Engage 1 and Enemy Engage 2, which were connected, and they had also, let's say, semi-dynamic campaign. The other title, it was the difficult to choose. Well, I'll say the F-22 Lightning 2 and 3 because for the it was the first contact with multiplayer.
Oh yeah, had multiplayer in F-22.
Yes, the F-22 Lightning 2 and 3, you were going to the Nova World, it was called that time. They had their servers, and you were connecting there, and you were flying with other people. That was my first multiplayer contact. I still remember how it was. It was like a big map with islands in a circle, with each island had an airport, and your teammates were on the same airport, and the teammates were they were with different colors, and each team were fighting all of them. It was not like blue and red. It was like blue against red and red against purple against yellow, and it was like this.
It was like every team for themselves, multiple teams, and they're all going against
Yes,
each other.
yes, exactly.
And with the 20, was it F-22s fighting F-22s, or did they have other airplanes, or how did that work?
F-22s only.
Oh, interesting. What type of any SAMs, like surface air missiles stuff, or was it mostly just air to air?
This I remember very well. The multiplayer sessions were only 98% air to air, and only the bases had the classical defenses to defend themselves. But you could easily destroy them.
Okay. Was it more simulator centric, like simulator wise, or was it like a complete opposite side of the spectrum, Ace Combat, where you had like 40 something missiles per airplane?
No, it was with like a simulator, like
Okay.
how many missiles the F-22 takes.
Yeah.
It is. If you want to reload, you have and refuel, you have to go back to the airport. That was a good option that it had that time.
Yeah, that is nice. That's something kind of wish BMS would somewhat have. You can reload your weapons if you come back home. Doesn't usually happen very often, but sometimes you do multiple sorties. Like if you just want to stay in the game, and you know sometimes people don't have the time for it, but you can land, you can refuel, but you can't get any more weapons. So that's kind of that.
Weapons refuel was unlimited.
Sweet. So you mentioned you had models as well, so aircraft die-cast models. How long have you been building models, and how did you get started with that?
As I said, it started suddenly by a magazine that it went on my hands. I found it interesting in that time, 1993, and then I started buying by myself small aircrafts in 144 scale and 172 scale. And after 2 years, I decided that maybe the scale it was too small. I wanted some details like how it was in the magazines, so I jumped in 148. And from that time, I'm making only 148 scale.
Is that because you wanted the detail of it? Yeah, you mentioned earlier.
Yes,
Yeah.
the detail, because 148 it gives you a very good detail in the cockpit, in the outside of the aircraft, the silhouette, everything. Everything is as it is as the real aircraft.
What how long would I guess it depends on how much detail you want to put on it, but in a general sense, how long would it take for you to from starting to finishing one of your models?
Well, the best record I had with 148, it was exactly 5 days, but continuous work. Let's say to start from the morning and until evening. And let's say with my A6 Intruder that I have my playlist on my YouTube channel that have all the building process, it can take, and if you want to put a lot of details, it can take even 1.5, 2 months max.
Do you have like weathered, or do you, I don't know if you create new airplanes paint wise, or do you put like weathering on there? You got the fuel on the bottom of the airplane, oil, and you put all that kind of stuff on there too.
Most I'm doing factory setting aircrafts
Okay.
with not too much weathering. The reason of this is because when I visit recently my home in Greece, because I'm in another country at the moment working, I noticed most of my old aircraft they got weathered by itself. So I said, why to make weathering while it will weather after 5 years by itself?
But weathering is in like the paint starts chipping, or what?
Um,
It's not flying, so yeah.
Technically, yeah, like sometimes the varnish that we're using, there are some different varnishes, like others they are sprays, other that like with brush. Um, they have one issue that the weather, depending the humidity, depending in which climate you living, and in Greece it's very hot and very cold at the same time, and it has a lot of humidity also, especially the village that I was living, it had a lot of humidity. Um, it starts to have this yellowish color, like you had it too much in the sun and it breaks a little bit the color.
Okay, starts decoloring a little bit, like sun bleached, but not as much as sun
Yeah,
bleached.
most it was because of the varnish,
Okay.
not the colors. The colors that I'm using is the specific ones that they're very strong and they can stay. And the problem I noticed it's from the varnish, not from the color. And the varnish is causing the problem.
Ah. So with your about 52 models. Can you name some of the models that you have? Some of the airplanes?
Oof, there are a lot.
I know.
Like T-33 Shooting Star, the F-80, the twin seat, the F-84, F-86. I have already in box 3 Phantoms. One is under construction, which are going to be the 3 different eras in Hellenic Air Force. The PI-2000, the modernized with AMRAAMs, the South Regional Agreement, and the first deliveries. I have also the A7 as a model. I have 2 F-16s, but unfortunately they got damaged from transportation, so I had to replace them. I have also Eurofighter. I have the A6, 2 Hornets, 2 Super Hornets, 1 single, 1 twin seat. I have a Tomcat, Strike Eagle. I have also an Eagle, 2 Sub Gripens, MiG-29s, Su-27s, MiG-21s, 23s, and the largest model that I have is the Tu-22 M3, the bomber, which
Yeah.
is in 1/72 scale, and it's nearly 70 centimeters. It's a big airplane.
Yeah, it's pretty big, and it's
With
good. It's good when you have the same scale of all your planes, so you can put them next to each other, and that's what it looks like size-wise, because it's the same scale. That's interesting. When I have my models, I'm like, the 22 is actually really big, and the 15 is actually really big too. And then you have next to it the T-38, and it's like, this thing is small. You could visually see the size differences of the airplanes.
Any Rafales in there in your collection?
Yep, there is a Rafale in my collection. It's one of the last models that I made
Nice.
when Hellenic Air Force ordered it. I said, okay, I'll buy it also. I made it as a Greek one with the same colors, different number, but that's okay. Numbers are not most important for me. For me, is the model.
Do you have any because sometimes on was it the website where you can buy already made diecast, they have some limited edition ones where it's like the first airplane on out the line, it'll give you the tail number. The first airplane off the line, airplane with 5 kills, airplanes that Robin Old flew, or do you have any other historically relevant airplanes in your collection? Like, what's the most historically exciting one that you have?
Um, I have from Yoros Epstein, Brigadier General from Israeli Air Force, the Mirage 3, the Nesher, and the Kafir that he flew. And with all the numbers that he had the Mirage 356, the Nesher, the 561, and the Kafir. And I have also his book, so I took the numbers from there.
Yeah, yeah.
And with all kill markings and everything.
Nice. So I know some people might be curious. So when you get a model, it's like just are they plastic or are they metalish? Are they aluminum or something, or is it plastic?
It's all plastic.
Okay.
It's coming with a box with the instructions. You just need to have the proper tools and proper glues also, and paints, of course, for the later, so you can finish them with the correct markings, paintings,
Yep, colors.
as it is. Yes.
Yeah. So it comes with it's like a blank, different pieces of it, and it's just blank plastic, and you could basically do whatever you want when it comes to painting. You just and it comes with instructions like what colors do you use, where to put it, and stuff like that.
Yeah, it has all the necessary instructions, even to build piece by piece uh, in order, so not to make, let's say, mistakes.
Yeah, so to take something apart and stuff. Is there any? So the glue is just dries normally. You don't have to put it under heat or anything. It's just normal.
Normal glue.
Okay.
I'm using two different types of glues because depending the structure, uh, depending um, how good to be glued, unfortunately, because some connections they will have some problems. Then you have to clean it. You have to put the specific glue and to stick it together, so not to have any problems on the fitting process for later.
So I remember watching either cartoons or shows or just knowing what happens. Have you had any oopsies where it gets dropped or your kid tries to think it flies and throws it out the window or anything crazy that happened?
Yes, trying to find a pitot tube of the F4 um, that I had it with a pincer. I was going to glue it, and then the pincer moved, and the pitot tube flew over. And this is very small pieces, like millimeter.
Yeah, it's a tiny little
And
piece of, yeah.
trying to find the needle in the field, it's like this. And then I found it 3 days later. It went, thank God, inside the book of the instructions, and it stuck there.
Huh, that's crazy. How do you mount? You have them. I see people sometimes have it on the ceiling with string. Some people put it on like a stick, on a stand, on a shelf. How do you present all your 50 something models?
On my home in Greece, everything is in a shelf. It's in a metal shelf that I had to wrap it off around for the dust and everything, not to have problems. And where I live now, I have only 10 models, and it's again on a shelf in front of me.
Nice, nice. What is your next airplane you want to get? Are you working on something right now?
Because at the moment, I'm expecting a new member in the family. I have
Ooh.
to run for the rest of the boxes to finish quickly.
Uh-huh.
So for me, it's going to be a marathon until at least end of September that I need to finish everything, not
Oh
to have
goodness.
boxes around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question related to that, kind of. So you said you were waiting for a new member of the family, but did your kids ever like try to like grab grab one of your models and like interfere with that and during either assembly, or did they ever like try to break it, or just by playing broke it, something like that?
That will be an advice for everyone. Put it higher so they cannot reach them.
There you go.
You don't want to spend 50 hours on something and then goes for its first sortie and it's like, nope, that's not what it's for.
Yeah, because after when the kid will touch it and to try to fly it, and if he will break it, it's like you getting in a stall and you going to the ground.
Yep. Completely doesn't do anything. Um, just curious, did you ever get into RC planes?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I do some RC plane stuff where people do the same thing where they do models and they paint the RC plane. They do like the whole thing and then it flies. So that's something that's pretty cool as well.
I have a team member in one of our Phoenix that he has RC planes, and he has the Tomcat.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I got 35, 16, 22 Cessna and Sirius. So I got a couple of them. So
RCs are nice.
they are not, except when you crash them. That really does suck. But hopefully it's not on your first flight where you crash. At least you get a couple of flights in. But it does suck when you have to do that walk of shame to go grab your wreckage, 1,000 feet in the over there.
I think we've all seen on those videos of like people flying. I don't know, their F-16 or whatever it is.
With turbine
Not
engines
really
and
nice RC aircraft, and then it just crashes. It's the heartbreaking to
yeah, it's
watch.
terrible.
Even hurts me watching that.
It's terrible. So you said you make videos as well. So how long ago did you first, or yeah, how long ago did you first start making videos and live streaming?
Well, I started my first video. I think it was in 2015 in YouTube. And no, 2010 it was YouTube, the first video. And my first live stream in December 2015 on Twitch. And I was making old videos, but okay, not professional like the others. Most I'm making live streaming. And last year I made the video for the Phantom. I have a nice video. It's called the Phantom Song, the crew member. I had another two videos, but because PC is old and it doesn't handle it well now lately when I'm trying to make videos, and I'm also -1 in SSD, so there's no space at the moment.
Your computer's 11, 12 years old. What do you have? What do you have in there? You have what graphics card do you have at least?
Well, I hope nobody will kill me now. It's
Uh-oh.
the 1070 Ti.
Oh man, that's ancient.
Oof. Oof.
Still works.
Yeah, it works. It works, but I mean,
Yes.
with Nvidia coming up with new cars every year, it seems like it's forever ago. Got the 5,000, almost 6,000, probably early next year or something. Mid next year we'll have 6,000 series. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Still
it was a
kicking?
little bit. It was a little bit unfortunate. I was ready to buy the things 2 years ago, but some unfortunate events happened, like the office that I was working decided to close. I was in a foreign country, and as a foreigner, difficult to find a job. I was too close even to return back and to leave the family behind. Thank God another war came, but after another unfortunate hit me, I'm sorry that I'm going to say that. My father was sick nearly for a year, and I lost him last October. So everything went totally back.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
I can only imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's rough.
never look forward to that. But yeah, that's terrible.
It is.
So you said you're down an SSD. How much space do you have right now? Because I know DCS takes terabytes, BMS takes a good chunk amount of stuff, and God forbid you have Microsoft Flight Simulator. So what kind of space are you working with on your computer?
My PC, it's set up from the beginning like this. The local disk, the C, is only for the Windows and support programs. I don't put anything else there. Then I have another, had 4 disks. One 1 terabyte, another one, and another 3, it was 500 gigabytes. But that was in the old time. The one 500 gigabyte that I was using for videos and recordings, unfortunately, died. And that's why I said I'm -1. The OneDrive, it's only DCS and the supporting programs that there are for DCS, and it's on the 1 terabyte. And I just open it now. I have only 170 gigabytes free.
It's dwindling very quickly. But yeah, all the maps that DCS has.
And I have
modules. Yeah.
And I have all the maps, nearly all the maps, except Afghanistan.
What for your live streams? What kind of stuff what kind of content do you have on your Twitch, your live stream stuff?
Most is the flights that I'm making, the model construction, and lately when I'm going to these Falcon events, I always request permission if I can stream, because I always do that in every event that I'm participating. I always ask if you're fine by streaming the event. Like last night, I had an event with Arma Reforger. It was a 3-hour stream. But now if I stream the flights, I put also the timestamps for the people when they come to the channel to go to the specific timestamp they want. They want to see the takeoff, or they want to see the egress, or the dogfighting. Everything will have a timestamp now.
Yeah, that's always good
Because
to be able to digest a 3-hour video. Timestamps are essential.
yeah, because the process to make a video, let's say the 3 hours to short it, it will take time. And by a new family member is coming, the time goes shorter and shorter now.
Yep, it definitely dwindles.
Yep.
Time gets shorter or it gets faster. I don't know. It's one of those two. I don't know which one it is. It's kind of hard to tell. Either time is going faster or there's less time. It's weird.
As a parent, it almost feels like the day doesn't have enough hours for everything you want or need even to get done. So yeah, I can relate.
Like before you know it, the sun's going down. It's like, wait, what?
I will describe you how time flies. It's like NCC 1701 Enterprise D Galaxy class in Warp 9.9, and you just open the window and you have your head outside. It looks like that.
It's just streaks of light. Streaks of light just going past. And you said you had a YouTube as well, so I guess the YouTube kind of mirrors what's on Twitch, or do you have some different stuff on there?
I have a program that when I'm making the live, it streams on both. So it keeps it as an archive and in YouTube and in Twitch.
Cool. And yeah, we have your Twitch channel or your Twitch website and your YouTube channel in the description below in the show notes. So if you anybody's interested, he's definitely has a lot of stuff on there. So go ahead and check that out. You said you have some DCS content on there as well. What kind of DCS content do you have on there?
In the old time, I had the Mirage 2000 training videos. That was very long time ago. And also I made a nice F4 Phantom video, music video. That was a big job to make this video because I wanted to make it exactly as the song, and it took me a month to fix that video.
Oh, dang.
And most of it is all the live recordings. All the live recordings are on YouTube.
Yep. Yeah, he has videos of him I'm looking at his channel right now. It's going some previews, but he has videos, top-down view of him making models. Has the instructions in his hand, has the paint brushes. Like it's all on there. So if you're interested, basically ASMR, as some people will call it, building some models there. So you got the A6A in there, A6 intruder.
The specific one is exactly from the movie The Flight of the Intruder.
Oh.
This is the A model. And the reason that I choose the A model and not the E model from the movie is because I wanted to make it kind of book accurate, because the book, Flight of the Intruder, it refers to A6A and not to A6E.
So with you making, I know it's like a even smaller niche. You got simulators, then you got DCS combat simulators, you got BMS, like gets smaller and smaller niche, and then there's another niche of modeling, doing aircraft models. What kind of made you get into making videos about modeling? I know a lot of people do modeling, but I don't think many make videos about modeling.
The reason that I made it is, how to say, to show to the people that is okay, it looks complicated, but it's not. The good thing with the modeling is that it gives you, and with combination with the flight sims, it gives you a better aircraft knowledge. You see the aircraft, you see their curves, you see the hard points that they have, their systems. It can give you more, how to say it, like a great appreciation for realism for the aircraft. When you're flying in the simulators like Falcon BMS or DCS, you also notice the details that you have in the 3D, but also you realize the details that you have also in front of you when you're building it.
Yeah, it makes sense because it's the same thing can be said. It's not with the creating it, but when you build an RC plane, you're literally putting the wings on, putting the servos in, making the center of gravity correct by depending on where you put the battery. It gives you a sense of belonging and like a part of it when you actually put up move the stick forward, the engine comes on and it starts flying. So it gives you a little bit more sense of pride, and you still feel a little bit more closer to that RC plane. Seems like the same thing happens with modeling of aircraft when it comes to aviation in general.
And also it improves the situational awareness on the aircraft that you fly. Let's take the example, the F-16. I have one model F-16 from the old time, which a little bit damaged, but it's okay. I'll replace it one day later. It helps you when you're flying the F-16 in BMS or DCS, and when you have the model in front of you, it gives you this situational awareness, like you're looking the physical model in front of you. Uh, you see the angles. It gives you the ability to visualize the aircraft in 3D, because aircrafts in 3D, it's like you see it in the television, in the screen in front of you, but uh, it doesn't give you the complete visualization of the aircraft. Like this, by making also the model, or you having the model in front of you, you can understand the angles of even formation flying. Where is the air refueling probe or the door? And you can see it like the red flag videos, like when they're training with these sticks in the aircraft. It's kind of the same to understand um, how the aircraft is moving.
It gives you the visual representation of orientation, because yeah, it really helps with, instead of using your hands, you could use the sticks, and you can tell like what something looks like in a certain situation in the cockpit, and it helps out a lot with visualizing what's going on, what you're going to see in the cockpit without training in the cockpit, because that's a horrible classroom because you're worrying about all other things and you don't really get to learn as much as you would sitting in a classroom at 1G. So you had the A6 intruder. Was that is that something complex? Or did you have something else, another aircraft that was more complex at a point where you said, I'm not really going to finish this. This is too complex, but you still ended up completing it. What other airplanes did you have that same type of mindset with it?
Honestly, the A6 was the difficult one,
Ah,
because the problem with with the A6, it was the fitting problem in the cockpit. Probably the company didn't put it well, because when you're trying to assemble it first without the glue to see where is the gaps or where is the problem on the fitting, and then I put the glass, the windshield on the front, I noticed that the cockpit, the panel, was too much high, and the windshield didn't even fit. So I had to cut left, right, up, down to shorter the cockpit panel so the windshield to fit. Otherwise, it couldn't even fit. And because it was big model, I decided to make the wings folding with these stainless steel metal pins, which is not even 1 millimeter. And I managed to do that. Also, the air brakes are opening and closing. The rudder also is going left and right. So it was very heavy modified aircraft.
So you said you had the speed brake. Does the wings fold too? Is that in the mechanism as well? The wings folding?
Because it's the mechanism in the model, it has two options, either to be straight, like unfolded, or to be folded. The problem is that I had to put the pin exactly on the connection on the top of the wing, so it will open and close to fold and unfold by itself, without even support.
Oh, fascinating.
So basically, on this build, you ended up having to rectify problems of the company, or that the company did not, or problems caused by the company themselves, manufacturers, whatever.
Yeah, that was a plastic problem from the manufacturer.
Damn.
Did they give
At
you
least you got
any?
it done.
Did they give you any like not a refund, but you talked to them and did they give anything back? Because that's frustrating.
I saw that in some forums, in some other sites, they already report the problem. I knew the problem, and I planned it from before, but it's different from having plans on the paper and to leave it at the same time, the problem, because as I said, it needed to heavy modified, like to cut left, right, up and down to fit it. So I knew the problem from before, but I bought the model because I wanted the A6, because I will tell you this: Flight of Intruder and the Final Countdown, for me it was the first movies uh, that I saw. It wasn't Top Gun, it was these two movies.
I'll have to add that
I
to
don't
my
think I ever
list.
watched.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't think I ever.
I watched The
Never did.
Flight of the Intruder a bunch of times. It's really good, but I don't think I ever watched The Final Countdown. Isn't that the one where like an aircraft carrier goes back in time and all this stuff with the
Yep,
F-14s?
yep,
Yeah,
that one.
I keep hearing about that one.
Yeah, I'll have to
And
look at
the
those.
famous phrase, splash the zeros.
Right.
So you have all these airplanes. Which one are you most proud of putting together? Is there one that sticks out to you?
Well, everyone.
All of them?
And why all of them? And why I say all of them? Each one has a story. Uh, because in some events of my life, after of these events, I was building a model. It went like this. So each aircraft, when I'm watching it, I know even the story. It's like a memory bank.
Kind of takes you back to the time you were working on it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have like
That makes sense.
like a logbook? Like you can like while you're building the airplane, do you create an audio logbook? Or I guess you do videos. Do you create like a kind of like a memory bank when it comes to like media? So you're saying this is why I built this, and you write it down somewhere, or you say, or is it mostly just in your head?
Most in the head.
Okay.
It goes by notice. Let's say I finish the A6, okay, I'll jump to the Phantom, and that's why, on my Twitter I said it's the Phantom Marathon, because it's going to be a build-up of 3 Phantoms in a row.
Oh yeah, yeah. You mentioned the Tu-22, and it was complex. Complex. So, what are some of the reasons why it was complex, other than it being like really big? What are some of the stories that you have with making the Tu-22?
It had a lot of details for 172 scale because it's a large aircraft, and it had also the missiles. It has also the magazine for the how it's called, Key H-47. I think it's the semi-ballistic cruise missile that they go high and then they go straight down. Like technically, it was like a Rampage, Russian style.
Oh, okay.
Uh, it it had the KH-22s with all the details of the missile, like you can remove even the cone of the missile, and it has the small radar on the front. The cockpit was extremely detailed, and because it was very big, it's a very large aircraft. It had big pieces for connecting, and if you make one mistake on the connection, uh, the model could go to garbage.
Dang, sounds awful. Does it have pilots in there? You have to paint the pilots and everything. People.
No, without pilots.
Okay.
The only company that is still using pilots in their boxes is the Tamiya ones.
Okay. And the same thing, you gotta paint them as well, depending on how large the scale is. You gotta do the flight suit, the face, the eyes, and like that's crazy.
Yes, I have a box with U.S. Air Force pilots and ground crew, and it's a lot of work with this to put all the details with the faces, with the hair, with the helmet.
So I've seen some extreme diecasts where they have lights and like cotton balls with red lights in it that simulates fire. They got water acrylic. They got explosions. Like they have pieces flying off held by a string. Are you into that at all? Have you tried to do any of that type of stuff, like
Never,
actions?
I've never done that.
Yeah, it's interesting where it's like an actual it's like a photo where you take a picture and there's explosions. Got the cotton balls with the light underneath it. Looks like fire. The smoke is going off. You got the water on the ground from uh like glossy type of paint. It looks like water on the ground, and that's like super crazy. And I always like watching videos of people making those, and you actually flip a switch to turn on the light on it, and it's really amazing.
So for your
The
models, it's supposed to be like a complete like a the the thing is not supposed to be like depicted being falling apart or shot at or blowing up, right?
Yeah, for me, it's more the factory setting style. But I can tell you that the most crazy thing I've done is that all my ships, model ships, they're floating exactly on the line.
You said you had ground, or you mentioned some ground equipment, ground maintenance crew. You have those
Yeah,
as well.
it's only the crew without the equipment.
Okay.
It's only the marshals.
Ah, so what if you had a dream? I guess you have a whole bunch of airplanes, but if you had a dream airplane to create and to purchase and to get, or even for free, what airplane would that be?
Well, I had the crazy idea a few days ago because one of my team members is making the new skins for the F-14 BU, and because we're making them with like half glass painting in, and we call it half phoenix painting. I was thinking, let's say, to take the F-14D, which is technically the BU is the father of the D, of the F-14D, uh, to take one of these and to make it as 104th Phoenix model.
Yeah, like the livery, the paint of it. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah. Do you have any? Do you have any helicopters? What helicopters? Yeah.
two Apaches, one Hind, and one Seahawk.
Okay. What other like YouTube or any expos you go to for modeling and modeling aircraft expos or YouTube channel that you watch or um, videos that other video that people make? Have you, what other type of things do you go to in your spare time if you go to them?
Well, I see some videos from modeling, some techniques, uh, because we always evolve all the time. Other videos, I'm watching also your podcast here with you and Fiscus, which are amazing podcast. Is I've seen all of them, and allow me to say that is the quality talking for simulation that you have on your podcast. Uh, Other videos, is- and some other videos like movies sometimes for the free time if I want to break off from something to do something different.
Yeah, appreciate that you liked the podcast, um, and the good words you have for our viewers. When you are painting, do you listen to music or listen to podcasts, or what do you kind of do while you're painting?
Most I put like a working music, like a soft one. No need to be something like metal or
Yeah, it's
anything
heavy
else.
metal, like doing
Yeah,
something very small, and you got like System of a Down in the background.
exactly. Because you need to be focused, you need to be smooth on the work, not to make the mistakes. So most it's also on my streams I put soft music, not something extreme.
Yeah, something nice and slowish. So when it comes to Falcon BMS or even DCS, what are your favorite airplanes to fly in those sims?
Well, in the beginning, when I started the DCS, it was the F-15 and the flanker. And when the F-16 came out, then technically I can say I switched to the F-16. In BMS also is the F-16, my favorite one. Lately, I flew also the F-15 in BMS, and I can say that I was amazed with all the systems working and all this clickable. And just to make a small PS here, I hope they will put the bingo fuel in the F-15 to work, because looking down right all the time is not so good, because if you forget the afterburn, you have 8,000. When you take out your eyes for 10, 15 seconds, when you look it again, you are at 4,000.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm in the beta team, and the F-15 will be a different airplane once the update comes out, and you will be thoroughly surprised of the amount of work was put into the Eagle in Falcon BMS. But yes, the bingo, at least the bingo not knob, you could set it to what bingo you want. It'll tell you what bingo is. But beside that, you got a whole bunch of new things in it, and it's really nice. It's basically a new airplane when I do some testing on it. So you'll be thoroughly surprised when that update comes out.
I'm looking forward for the new F-15, let's say.
The new F-15, the one that kind of coming in the update, or
The update one.
yeah, it's really nice. And then on the other hand, DCS mentioned like 2 years ago or something that they're coming out with a C model as well. So we'll see when that comes out and how that's going to go. But I'm excited about that one too. But it's always good to have two sims competing for each other, because that's how generally how things get better. If you have two of the same things, they want to be better than the other person. So that's usually how competition works. So that'll be good for the community to have a good um, Charlie model for the F-15.
That's true, and I wanted to say that also that uh, it needs a little bit competition, because it will make the others, let's say, to run a little bit faster. Because it was only BMS and it was only DCS. The DCS had the models, and then you had this problem that they announce the models, and then it takes like 6 years to get it in hand, or 4 years to get it in hand. And maybe this was the reason of the long times that there was no competition, no other competition on the same level. Because, okay, you have the War Thunder, but you don't have the cockpit, you don't have clickable cockpit. You just go in, it's like a Counter Strike in the air. Uh, this, how I
Exactly.
call it, some This is how I call it most of the times.
Counter-Strike in the air. That's funny.
This is how I call it. It's a Counter-Strike in the air. That's it. Because it's two teams, they're fighting each other. Is the same as what you're doing in the Counter-Strike in the old times. It's not like BMS. You click everything. You have to start up everything. Also in DCS, you have to start up everything. Okay, we have the magic button in DCS, like Alt Home, and it will start up by itself.
Yeah.
Competitions needed, because DCS was, I can say, alone all this period. It didn't have any competition.
Yeah, and it definitely has, like, of course, the F-14. No one else does the 14. No one else does the 18 generally. No one else does the MiG-29, the F4, the F-100. Like that's DCS. If you want the F4, DCS is like the only thing to go to, depending on what level of F4 you want. But if you want the F4 and fly it, DCS is it. If you want the F-16, debatably, people can debate back and forth, but my opinion, it'll be Falcon BMS 1000%. And then slowly the F-15C is also Falcon BMS. But yes, definitely the competition is needed, and it's kind of a disservice to the community when there's a monopoly of an airplane and not having any other options to fly that airplane that you love.
Yeah, that's true. And also for everyone out there, even if you fly BMS, F-16, or DCS, you can jump from the one to the other. It's easy. Okay, from DCS, F-16 doesn't have some things, BMS has it, but that's okay. The flight style is the same. The procedure kind is the same between the two F-16s. But it's very easy, the transition, either from BMS to DCS or DCS to BMS for the F-16 only.
Yeah, F-16
The
only.
good thing is that Hitler is making a lot of quality, and if you try the F-14 and the F-4, you will see the details and the details how the aircraft feels in the air, which is an amazing work what they done. They have people in real life that are making the tests, and for the F-14, they used pilots that they were flying the F-14 to go to close, for the F-14, the Tomcat, to be close as real.
Yeah, it's always good to know they're having real pilots, real systematic experts on the aircraft to be able to verify the performance of the airplane and give us a, because for us who had never flown the plane, we'll just take whatever we think that's real, because it's what else are we going to compare it to. But if you have an insight into the airplane or the systems, you'll be like, hey, that's not quite right, and you'll feel a certain type of way if something's not right.
Yeah, that's true, because this is a good thing that they have the experts. That means the quality of the product that they will give it to you, it will be a quality product, not something that came out fast, like early access, and okay, this is not like real as it was, or this is not it didn't have it, but they put it. Yeah, it happened with one module in DCS, which I don't want to mention, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it's different module by experts and with real stuff, and module by hypothetical stuff that supposedly to have inside.
Yeah, it's very, and then the DCS owns the helicopter regime 100%, because BMS doesn't have any helicopters. For a little while, we had a mod that did type of helicopter similar type of feels, but it wasn't anywhere near to what DCS has, and they definitely have that aspect pretty solid.
Yeah, the helicopters in DCS are amazing. The Apache, the Hind, the Kiowa is, and the Huey and the Chinook, honestly, because I have the Chinook, I have the Huey. The Huey is really, as you can see it even in real stuff videos in YouTube, it flies. The Apache with all these systems, the Chinook, and now they have the sling load, which you can transfer with the Chinook wherever you want, cargoes. It's amazing.
Right. So, Tiger, do you have any experience or contact with other people, other flight sim enthusiasts, be it in DCS or BMS, that also build modules or models, assemble models, and are into the same type of hobby at all?
Well, there are people DCS, in DCS community that they are making also models, or they have like decast, like small metal aircrafts. On BMS, honestly, I haven't asked anyone because now I got inside the multiplayer stuff in BMS, and honestly, I haven't asked anyone for this. The reason that also that I went to the multiplayer stuff in BMS is just to write hours and not to be grounded totally and to forget everything what I learned before. But I
I can
believe
definitely relate to that because I've been rusty.
You mean rusty with DCS? Rusty?
Me rusty with BMS just in general because I haven't been flying as much as
Oh yeah,
I'd like. So yeah, basically, yeah,
yeah.
very rusty.
That's definitely a proficiency thing, just like with real life. With airplanes, you got to fly, and if you don't fly, you'll forget some stuff, and you'll have to knock the rust off to get back into it, because it's a lot of stuff that you may forget just everyday life if you don't do it at least once or twice a week or something.
that's true. It happened to me with the Hornet. Had a long time to fly the Hornet, and I had to review all my notes. So to fly continuously with the Hornet, to for the memory to come back about all the stuff and the systems of the Hornet.
Yeah, I'm starting to, because I switched over, not switched over, but started doing the F100 stuff, and there's some F100 things that don't relate to anything at all. Like you got to turn on every single station. There's a switch. You got to make sure it's in, it's it's enabled, and then you got to change your drop, um, like sequence. So either single or single pair or pair. How many stations you want to drop. You got to do a knob like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, whatever. So you got to do all that. So it's a lot, and then you got to map it to your HOTAS that you use for another airplane. And right now I'm in the process of like creating um, a map of what all the buttons do. So I create literally a piece of paper, and I type what the buttons do that I map to that airplane, because it's not going to all be the same. So that's another hardship, where when you're switching airplanes, you got to make sure you label all your stuff, because you're not going to remember 3, 4 different airplanes controls on the same controller you use for those 3, 4 airplanes.
I have a small suggestion, and it's a small trick that I'm doing with my Virpil because I have the Virpil setup, the twin throttle and the Virpil stick, the Mugus. Uh, what I'm doing is that I'm using the same configuration for all aircraft. Let's say the TMS app is going to be the same for all aircraft. And so you minimize the differences of the buttons when you put it on the stick. If somebody has, okay, the F-16 stick and throttle, okay, normal, you have to put everything, uh, let's say, the same as the F-16. For me, because I don't have F-16 stick or throttle, or Hornet stick and throttle, or A10 as it was before, the stick and throttle, and I have the Virpil, so I had to help myself to make things easier for all aircrafts.
Gotta make it like the functions is the same, but the buttons might be different. Like the buttons in each aircraft is different, but the function is shared across airplanes. So you try to make it the same.
Yes, exactly. Let's say for the flares and shafts, for F-15 Strike Eagle, for F-16, and for the Hornet is totally different.
Yeah.
So I'm using technically my F-16 configuration, like I have it on the thumb in the stick, the CMS.
Yeah, the
That
CMS
one.
switch. Yep. Yeah, I got the Warthog. It's a F-16 stick. I got a Wind Control F-18 stick. I put that in the middle, in the center, so I have that, and I have a Viper from Thrustmaster, Viper throttle from Thrustmaster, and I have the F-15 Orion throttle base. So I got all these different controllers for different airplanes, and especially for the base of the throttle, I have a template where I put in there like landing gear or lights or gun, missile, and bomb modes of the HUD. So it's like just different things that you have to get definitely have to get a template on your actual panel so you could kind of remember.
Well, also that I just sent the picture. This is how I fly. And this is my setup with the stream deck with the two MFDs left and right, but I don't have the desk mount or chair mount, so I have to hold the stick between my legs when I'm flying.
Oh,
And a year and a half ago, on a Virpil tournament of a racetrack, it gave me the same setup like this. It gave me the 10th place. So I cannot imagine if I had the desk mount or chair mount in which place I was going to be.
it seems like you got shelves in the way of where your desk mounts could go. Got little like little drawers there.
Like all the patches too, as well on the left.
Yeah, the patches are nice.
We should add this onto the. We should add this picture, if he doesn't mind, onto the stream.
Yeah, I'll have it
onto
on
the
there.
video.
Yep.
I can make new pictures and to send it to you
Yeah, you
because I
can.
have more patches, new ones.
Oh,
Yeah, I have to. It's on the plans, but for later, that I have to reconfigure my desk, so to add either the desk mounts or chair mounts, because I have a chair, new one, not this one like you see in the picture, and maybe I will take chair mounts for my Virpil and throttle.
see what's on the screen? What you got a illusion airplane flying around on your monitor there?
Yes, it was L-76. I was doing some. I remember when I took the picture, it was this tests for the Virpil tournament.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'd like to ask Tiger, which is his favorite aircraft in BMS in DCS, and why?
Difficult question, but for BMS, everybody will answer the F-16, which it is my favorite aircraft, the F-16.
I would say these days I wouldn't put my money on it with everybody saying the F-16, but because the F-15C is a thing, and I know a lot of people just absolutely fell in love with the aircraft. So yeah, but I can see what you mean.
Believe me, both can shoot missiles, so I'm fine with both.
Yeah, I'm liking the
Makes
Eagle.
sense.
Liking the Eagle too. Really good at air to air. Really good.
What about in DCS? What's your favorite aircraft on there, if you have a favorite?
The Phantom, and the Tomcat.
Nice, 2-seaters. Okay. And if you could make a full fidelity aircraft for BMS, which one would it be?
Oof. Ooh. Well, I was going to say the Strike Eagle for one reason. Uh, okay, it's a two-seat, but I believe, my opinion is that it's going to fit in Korea theater, in Israel theater, and in European theater with, let's say, three different editions like F-15E, F-15I, and F-15K, which K technically is same like E.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. I think that's about it. Before we go, I would like to, Prime, if you have a video about the Flight Sim Expo, you brought that up on the last episodes, I believe.
Oh yeah.
And you have a video about that on your channel, which I suggest everyone go check out. But for having that on the podcast, what would you like to say about that event you went to?
So yeah, it was Flight Sim Expo. I have a video about basically the history of it and what happened at the Expo. But in a nutshell, it's been going on since 2018. It's mostly in North America or United States, to be specific. It's been going on since 2018. They're hopping around different areas of the United States. This past year, they were in Minnesota, St. Paul. And next year, they're having it in Vegas. I will be there again. So go on Flight Sim Expo 2027, search it on the Google. It'll show you the link, and you could start planning for that trip. As I mentioned in the video, it's about 85% commercial and general aviation sims. So you got Airbus there, Boeing, Cessnas, Pipers, like you got more of that type of stuff. But that last 15% is, you have, of course, this last time Granelli was there with his F-100D. You got wind control with DCS set up, so you can fly the P-51. You could fly the F-14. This past year they had the F-14BU, the update, so you can get an early access on the floor, on the show floor for that. And Granelli, you were able to fly the F-100, and then they had Combat Pilot there as well. So Combat Pilot and IL-2 with VR stuff. So they have a little bit of combat sims in there, but it's mostly commercial sims. But if you ever get a chance to fly out to one of these Flight Sim Expos, I do recommend doing that. Even though if you're not into the commercial stuff, there's still some things to do for the combat side. So again, go ahead and look at that video, see if it's interesting for you, and go ahead and give a Google search to see if that's something that you want to do next year in June.
I don't recall from your video, but did you get? You might have mentioned this, but did you get to try out the F-14BU?
So I didn't try it out, but I did watch it from like side. So they were just flying around and stuff, and they had a force feedback stick from wind control, and it's like this giant actuator looking thing. Pump, like it looks like a pump from like an airplane, and it literally like shakes the stick to give you feedback. And if you they're still modifying the software of it, because if you got into like maybe a 4 or 5G turn, the module would like sound like a sledgehammer, or not a sledgehammer, a jackhammer. So it'll go tuk, 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 like it would start doing that at 4 or 5G. So they're still messing with the software and stuff, but it does give you that, I guess, fourth dimension of being able to fly an airplane by the stick shaking in your hand and you having to put 3, 4, 5 pounds of force to actually pull the stick. So that's definitely something that's coming down the line, and it's another dimension of flight sim as we know it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about how it would be over here having a stick like that with the jackhammer sound.
Yeah, it was like jackhammer-ish. It was crazy. I'm like, what is going on over there? Dum, 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 dum. What is happening? But yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
Flight Sim Expo was great. If you ever get a chance, go ahead. Definitely do that.
Probably you need sound isolation for the room to have.
Oh yeah,
such
put it
sounds.
on some because it's bolted to your chair or whatever. I mean, you probably have like a pit type of chair set up, so you could put like some dampeners or something to not, or just don't have it upstairs. that would be a mistake.
Yeah.
So yeah, a whole house will hear you're pulling the 3-4 Gs. So yeah.
Yep, it sounds like sounds like it'd be a problem. But like you were saying, they're still working those kinks out,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
probably they'll get that sorted out.
Somewhat.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it from me.
Yeah, that's it. Do appreciate Tiger taking your time to have this conversation with us. The viewers appreciate it. Hopefully they had a enlightening time learning about other flight sims, or our flight sims, and then modeling as well.
I want to thank you, Prime and Fiscus, for inviting me on your podcast. I enjoyed a lot our discussion, and even looking forward for next discussion in the future, maybe.
Yep, absolutely. Alrighty then.
Thanks everyone for coming.
Yep, thanks.
I really want to appreciate Tiger for taking the time to join us. It was a great conversation. I really enjoyed it. And I hope to see everyone in the next episode.
Yep, see you next time.